Hey, this is Jeff Garrett with the Ascent Performance Group, and today I want to talk to you about the book, The Leadership Challenge. The book is written by James M. Kouzes and Barry Z. Posner. Kouzes is the Dean's Executive Fellow of Leadership at the Levy School of Business at Santa Clara University, and Posner is the Accoliti Professor of Leadership and former Dean of the Levy School of Business at Santa Clara University. And the book, The Leadership Challenge, was published in 1987. The book sold over 2.5 million copies, and it's currently in its 6th edition. So a lot of people have read this book. The name of the book came from the concept of the challenges that take place to make extraordinary things happen. So make extraordinary things happen. That's where this book came from, that concept. This is considered by many business professionals to be the top leadership book. To me personally, I think it is the top leadership book because of the leadership practices that it does cover. And this is also, there's an assessment that's tied to this book, and that assessment is a Leadership Practices Inventory. It's commonly referred to as LPI 360, and over 3 million people have taken the LPI 360. There are 5 practices and 30 behaviors that are covered in the Leadership Challenge. And the practices are, number 1, model the way. Leaders must set the example. I have a saying that I've taken from a friend, and it's speed of the leader, speed of the team, because the leader does set the pace. And we have to remember that people aren't listening to what we have to say, they're watching what we do. So we have to be the model. Inspire a shared vision. You can't command commitment, you have to inspire it. And then they also go on to say is you have to enlist others in a common vision by appealing to shared aspirations. So it's critically important that the leader has a vision and that that vision is shared amongst the team, that it's not just the leader's vision, but everybody owns that vision. And then there's challenge the process. And they say you need to search for opportunities by seizing the initiative and by looking outward for innovative ways to improve. So we always have to be looking as leaders of different ways to improve things. The definition of insanity is to do the same things over and over and expect different results. As a leader, we can't do that. And they're showing this with challenge the process. Enable others to act. They say that leaders foster collaboration by building trust and facilitating relationships. And go on further, focusing on others' needs rather than our own builds trust. One of the things as a leader that we have to do is in development of leaders is enable them to be able to take on projects, tasks, and we have to trust them to do it. And also at the same time, we have to allow them, our employees, to make errors. Because if we don't allow people to make errors and if we don't enable them, then they're never going to grow as a leader. So delegation is extremely important here. And then encourage the heart. Being a leader requires showing appreciation for people's contributions and creating a culture of celebrating values and victories by creating a spirit of community. Leaders recognize contributions by showing appreciation for individual excellence. And then what do you think the least recognized practice amongst leaders is? You guessed it. It's number 5, encourage the heart. So the 5 leadership practices provide an operating system for what people are doing as leaders when they're at their best. There's hundreds of studies on this book and on these practices to demonstrate that these 5 practices make a positive difference in the engagement and in the performance of people and organizations. An interesting statistic in the book is that nearly 96%, I think it was 95.8%, of direct reports who are most highly engaged indicate that their leaders very frequently use all 5 of these particular practices. There's also 10 commitments of the exemplary leader that are listed in the book, and these are under model the way, clarify values by finding your voice and affirming shared values. And secondly, set the example by aligning actions with shared values. And then under inspire shared vision, envision the future by imagining exciting and ennobling possibilities. Enlist others in a common vision by appealing to shared aspirations. Under shared challenge the process, search for opportunities by seizing initiative and looking outward for innovative ways to improve. Experiment and take risks by consistently generating small wins and learning from experience. Under enable others to act, foster collaboration by building trust and facilitating relationships. Strengthen others by increasing self-determination and developing competence. Under encourage the heart, recognize contributions by showing appreciation for individual excellence. Celebrate the values and victories by creating a spirit of community. The characteristics of admire leaders, CAL as they refer to it, is on page 30, and there's 20 different attributes. The four most common, or not the most common, but the most desired attributes by employees that they want in a leader is honest, competent, inspiring, and forward-looking. That's honest, competent, inspiring, and forward-looking. Those are the four attributes that people want in a leader. The Posner second law of leadership is very important in leadership, and it's DWYSYWD. Stands for do what you say you will do. So do what you say you will do. This is going to help create trust. It's also going to show you're honest, and people are, all, like I said earlier, they're looking to see if you do what you're going to do to model you. They aren't listening to you, they're watching you. There are leader summaries at the end of each chapter that are excellent. It gives you an opportunity to just see on these particular pieces if you are following these leadership models. And then the book is also filled with great examples of leadership and some different case studies. Kouzes and Posner go on to say, leadership is an observable pattern of practices and behaviors and a definable set of skills and abilities. They say any skill can be learned, strengthened, honed, and enhanced given the motivation and desire alone with practice, feedback, role models, and coaching. That's where I come into play, coaching. People who participate in leadership development programs demonstrate that they improve over time. They can learn to be better leaders. So leadership is something that can be learned. However, they go on to say that leadership can be learned. However, not everyone wants to learn it. And not all those that learn about leadership ever master it. In my humble opinion, this is the best book on leadership that is out there. And it also helps you to develop other leaders. I want to end with a quote here. Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. I provide coaching and workshops on the Leadership Challenge, and I also facilitate the LPI 360. For more information, contact me at coachjeffgarrett@gmail.com or on my website at www.theascentperformancegroup.com. Remember to be great.